afternoon, subscribers and viewers of my channel. It is MrEgorin here. Today I am in the beautiful Polish city of Kraków. I am now heading into the historic city center, where greeted by a classic medieval architecture. I like the fact that it is very clean everywhere, especially compared to France. The buildings are somewhat reminiscent of those I have seen in my favorite city, Salzburg, the Alpine mining town in Austria. Sometimes even Kraków reminds me of my home city, Kharkiv, the Soviet capital of Ukraine.
Okay. I am in Poland and today I'm going to the center of Kraków.
The streets aren't very wide, which is typical of many European towns and capitals. Every step forward feels like turning the pages of an old beautiful book. As the noise of the modern city disappears, the heart of Kraków opens up, inviting me to walk slower and enjoy the moment. There is something very peaceful about how the city carries its age. It doesn't just show its history, it lives with it. The streets are remarkably clean and the atmosphere is calm and pleasant. Looking closely at the buildings, the connection to Salzburg becomes even clearer. I can see it in the elegant shape of the windows, the beautiful decorations on the walls, and the warm colors of the buildings, like cream, light yellow, and soft orange. However, while Salzburg is surrounded by big high mountains, Kraków feels more open. It sits quietly along the Vistula River, holding its own special identity. To truly understand this place, it helps to remember that these clean, quiet streets were once the center of a very powerful medieval state. In the 13th century, after big walls, Kraków was completely rebuilt. The city planners created a very small, straight grid of streets around a giant central square, which became the largest medieval market square in Europe. While other old European cities grew in a massive, chaotic way, Kraków chose order and symmetry very early. Perhaps that is why it reminds me a bit of Kharkiv. At first, they seem completely different. Kharkiv is a city of huge spaces and massive concrete buildings, built with a big Soviet vision. Kraków is much more compact and was built for people and hosts, yet they share a similar spirit. Both are cities of students and science. Kharkiv has its famous universities and young energy, which feels like the spirit of Krakow's Jagiellonian University, one of the oldest in the world, where Copernicus once studied. Both cities are proud cultural centers that protect their history. As the narrow street finally opens up into the main square, the view is amazing. In the very middle stands the clothes hall. Centuries ago, this was a massive international market. Merchants from far away came here to sell spices, silk and leather, and to buy Poland's most famous treasure, salt. This connects Kraków back to Salzburg, which literally means salt castle. Both cities became rich because of the exact same mineral, which people called white gold. But while Salzburg got its salt from the Alps, Krakow's wealth came from the famous Wilczka mine nearby, where workers carved beautiful rooms out of the salt rocks underground. Standing here and looking at the warm light on the towers of St. Mary's Basilica, I feel very grateful. It feels like a miracle that these buildings are still here. Unlike Warsaw, which was completely destroyed during World War II, Kraków survived the war without major damage. When you touch the old stones or look at the shapes of the roofs, you are looking at real history, not a modern copy. The air is fresh and you can smell coffee and sweet pastries from the small cafes. Nobody is rushing here, people walk slowly enjoying the day because the city is so clean and well kept. It feels like the people who live here really love and respect their home. The narrow streets that go away from the square look like small stone valleys, catching the sunlight in beautiful ways. They invite you to walk without a plan because every turn shows you something interesting, like a quiet country art or an old cafe. Krakow doesn't try to surprise you with loud noises or bright lights. Instead, it asks you to slow down, offering a wonderful mix of European elegance, a rich history, and a warm, comfortable feeling that makes you feel at home. Thank you for your attention. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so we can stay connected. Bye bye, my friends.